it's Sunday and things have started to pick up a lot for me, and I'm getting really busy. So I'm doing my best to be a lot more intentional about my goal setting and how it is exactly that I'm keeping track of all of that. So first things first, at the beginning of every year for the past few years, I have kept a running Google Doc with all of my yearly goals. And a good friend of mine taught me this. I'm not sure where he got it from, but he taught me to separate my goals into three different buckets. The first bucket being your personal life. So maybe it has something to do with your fitness, or you're trying to get rid of certain habits, or anything of that nature. And then on top of that, there are the relationships that you have in your life. So what are you going to be doing in regards to building relationships, maintaining relationships, or making them deeper, or things of that nature? So that's bucket number one. I put down all of those goals at the beginning of the year. And then I have bucket number two, which is business and or work life goals. And so maybe this could be something about, getting your first few customers, or finally launching the business that you've been talking about for years. Or it could be something in work, like, get recognition from your boss, or get a promotion, right? Or at least have that conversation about getting a promotion. And then the third bucket are purely financial goals, right? So maybe it's like getting out of debt, or earning a certain amount of money, or investing in something that you've always wanted to invest in. So those are the three major buckets that I break my yearly goals into. And then I try my best to, I honestly slack on this very often, keep a doc for my monthly goals. Okay. And you could separate them into the three major buckets again, but honestly, I don't do that. I only look at the business stuff and work stuff on the monthly basis, right? Maybe it would make more sense to do all three on a quarterly basis as well. You could probably do that. But I keep my monthly goals in alignment with my work and my business, quite frankly. And the financial stuff is all going to be downstream of that. So I don't really focus on that throughout the year. It's like, how do I lock in on the business and whatnot to make sure that I'm actually getting forward and moving forward in all of this. It probably isn't the right way to go about it, to not continue to separate all three buckets, because at the end of the day, the whole point of what I'm about to go through is that you're going to break all of these big goals down into bite-sized items. So Alex Ramosi, he just did his $100-something million launch. And there was this video that he put out where he was talking about, or his wife asked him, like, how do you get so much done? Like, how does it not overwhelm you, and so on? And he said that essentially he just breaks it all down into smaller chunks. And that really resonated with me, and it helped me think about how I've been going through what I've been going through lately, where things have gotten a lot more busy. And I've definitely felt overwhelmed at times, but I've been like, all right, I've got to do the next step. And then by the time I'm in motion, it doesn't even feel like anything. So that's kind of the whole point of this, of what I'm going through. So excuse me for the tangent, but maybe it does make sense to continue to do all three buckets throughout the year. For the monthly goals though, I'm strictly looking at what can I be doing in my business to get myself to the next level. And then right now it's Sunday, so I'm getting down my weekly goals. And my weekly goals, I look at both the process of, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm looking at what are the process goals for the week, and then what are the actual outcome goals for the week. So I'm looking at my process right now and saying, okay, these are the things that I need to be doing throughout the week. And then I have another list of things. Okay, these are the outcomes that I hope to achieve. So that's what my weekly goals are looking like right now. And then every single day at night, I'm usually looking at what are the things that I need to get done tomorrow that are going to push me towards completing those weekly goals. And so it could be filming something. It could be writing a script for me. It could be planning things and coming up with new ideas, brainstorming, or things of that nature. It's usually along those lines of what it is that I'm doing throughout the week right now. And then what I also just started to do, because I realize this is a recurring pattern for me, is I need to think about the things that I can do in certain situations. So for instance, I have there's certain times where I can film, right? Like right now, it's quiet. Where I'm at, it's quiet. I have my microphone. I can set up. No one's going to interrupt my process. And so in those environments, what are the things that I can be doing? Oh, I can be filming content in these environments. But sometimes I might go out, I might be at a coffee shop or something, so I can't film content there. But what are the things that I can be doing in that environment? Because whatever those things are, I need to be locked in on making those things happen while I'm in that environment. And same thing while I'm in this environment. While I'm in this environment, I need to be locked in, focused on filming, right? So That way, when I'm at the places or in the positions that I'm in, I can immediately switch gears into whatever the things that I need to be doing to make sure that I'm maximizing my time in that space, if that makes any sense. So instead of, sitting down and thinking, oh, what should I be doing while I'm here since I can't do this? No, here's a list of all the different things that you can be doing while you're in this exact space. And so that way, I haven't read this book, Deep Work by Cal Newport. My family has that book. I need to read it. But I imagine that this has a lot to do with that concept of like when you're in a zone, or when you're task switching, your brain gets less done. There's something about this that's in that book, I'm pretty sure. So when you're having to switch from task to task and you're not like organized about the way that you're going through that, you're not really going through anything as effectively as you possibly could. It also was more about multitasking. I remember what I did read from like the beginning of that book is like, when you're multitasking, you're really doing nothing because you're not focused on the thing that you could be doing, and you're not focused on the other thing that you could be doing as well. And so it's all about being focused and locked in. And I'm trying to make sure that when I'm going from these different places that I have a clear list of things that I need to do and so on. So yeah, that's what I do. I have my yearly goals that I break down into the three different buckets. One being your personal life, being relationships, as well as your own personal spiritual journey and whatnot. And then you have business and work goals, and then you have your financial goals. And then I take my yearly goals and I try to break them down by every month, make sure that I have things that I'm trying to work on throughout the month. And then after the month, I'm looking at on a weekly basis, hey, these are the things that I need to be knocking out, and not only are there specific outcomes that I'm trying to achieve, but here are the processes that are going to get me there. And that way, when I'm going to bed at night, I'm thinking to myself what are the things that I need to do tomorrow to make sure that I'm knocking off and checking these things off the list throughout the week. Next thing you know, you've taken these little baby steps, right? And you've gotten yourself closer and closer to where it is that you need to be. And that's a big part of what this is all about, is how can you break your goals down into smaller chunks? Because that way it's not as overwhelming, and you don't think, oh, I've got to build out this entire YouTube channel, or I have to go and build an entire, I have to write a whole book, right? Like, no, it's just, hey, I need to start writing a page, or I need to start coming up with ideas of what it is that I want to talk about. And then from there, right, you just execute on the little things. And next thing you know, you look back a whole week. This past week, I got so much done. And on top, even just this weekend, I got so much done. And it was just because I broke it down into bite-sized pieces and didn't think about the things that were going to come next. So this is just what I'm doing right now, and I'm still trying to work on this. So if you have any tips around how you manage your goals and how you're working on that, let me know in the comments down below. Peace.